everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Tuesday, August 21st, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I am Tudik Sinsider.
God damn it. Oh, man. Please remember, everyone, you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet, picking up some merchandise in the link below, sending stories that you'd like us to talk about on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or on Reddit. All of those are at iReaditCast. Just send them to us, and we will get them in the show one way or another. And so, Mr. Sinsider, how are you?
I'm incredibly sick, and I hate life more than anything. My muscles hurt so bad, and I don't even work out.
Maybe it's because you don't work out that they hurt so bad.
Maybe. That could be it. But, fuck, it hurts. Everything hurts.
Well, stop dying.
I slept on the floor instead of in my hammock because the hammock was rocking.
And that hurt?
I didn't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate your movement, hammock.
Yeah, that was pretty much how it is.
How dare you?
I also slept with a small bucket near my thing, but I'm not gonna lift that one up.
Nathan doesn't own you to swing him around, okay? If you wanted one,
that's not true. I own it to swing me around, but not when I'm sick. All right.
No, you own it to snuggle you. Your hammock is the big spoon.
It makes me feel like Bran when he's stuck in a tree.
Who's Bran?
Exactly. You would know if you watched Game of Thrones.
Oh well, that one probably won't happen, friend.
Yeah, I know.
I did. Me and Jennifer did finish caught up on My Hero Academia, so we're all the way through that and waiting for episodes every week now.
That's good.
It is.
Let's start.
It's a fantastic show. We're also watching Angels of Death, waiting for those episodes every week right now.
Mm-hmm. I like what they did with that first guy. I don't know. I haven't really caught up. I've been watching Anglemoss. That show's awesome.
Anglemoss?
Mois. It's about
yeah.
It's about like the Mongolians attacking Japan.
All right. I am going to. I don't know what's next on me and Jennifer's list. Of course, us watching anime together will get a little bit more difficult when roller derby starts back up, which that starts back up here in about a week and a half.
I started watching Great Teacher Onizuka, and oh my god, is that show not acceptable nowadays?
No.
Oh, absolutely not. The first episode, he's trying to get inside some high schooler's pants. She's like 16, he's like 22.
I want to get Jennifer to watch ReZero. That was a really good show that I binged in like 2 days because Jennifer wasn't here, and I was lonely.
Mm-hmm. You guys should watch Thunderbolt Fantasy.
I really want to watch Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto, but finding a place to watch it is really difficult, actually.
That show's pretty great. Kiss Anime has everything, so you just got to make sure that you don't watch it when the bean is around, because there's tons of like porn ads everywhere.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have a pretty hefty ad blocker, so
they won't let you watch the video if you have an ad blocker on. So you got to do is you got to flicker your ad blocker off so that it loads with the video, and then you got to flicker it back on.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, some ads will still get through it in that time period.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, shall we actually talk about news now?
Yeah, sure.
Or are we just full on converting this to an anime podcast?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. It'd be kind of fun.
Zach is recommending New Game. It's so adorable. I've already watched New Game. It is very adorable. It is very plain, though. I should warn people. It is very slice of life. It's
boring.
Literally just a little bit out of someone's life who wants to become a game developer.
Oh man, there was another fucked up anime that Emmanuel was telling me about. I gotta get the name of it, but it was supposed to be like a faux slice of life that has some really crazy fucked up shit in the background.
Zach also says watch Overlord. I don't know. I haven't been gripped hard enough by Overlord to want to watch it currently.
I was going to sit down and watch that after I finish Konosuba, but I haven't finished that one yet.
Yeah, that one is one that I'm considering currently. But
I think you would enjoy Konosuba.
I've heard it's really funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
So maybe that's what's next. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
5.
Researchers discover enzymes that turn type A and B blood into universal type O.
This is submitted by Corvus to Our Science.
This is really cool. So what they've done is
This is important.
It is. And so they've taken an enzyme out of your stomach that will allow them to remove the A and B antigens from red blood cells. Now, the reason that this is important is because O blood can be given to anybody, specifically O negative. But O positive is pretty important as well. But this means that they can take your blood, regardless of what your blood is, and turn it into a blood that can be given to anybody. So if there is a shortage of B blood and they have a surplus of A, they can turn the A into O to give to B, which means that we won't have nearly as large of blood shortages anymore.
That's a good thing.
It's really good because we need blood all the time. Like,
that's because of the vampires and the politician.
Right,
and,
absolutely, yep. But, yeah. I mean, if there's a natural disaster, if there's, an attack somewhere, anything like that, basically, like, every facet of life will need blood at some point in time because, well, we don't have actually that much, and we barely have enough for what we need.
And we get injured a lot because we're real stupid.
Because we're real stupid.
Real fucking stupid.
So, this is really awesome. I'm really excited to see that this is something that we are able to achieve now. It's not something that they're going to be doing yet. They've just proven that they can do it. They got to prove that they can do it quickly and in larger amounts because
consistently.
Yeah, especially because it needs to turn all of it into O, because if you only turn half of it into O and put that into someone's body, it won't go that well.
Oh.
Well,
that's a plus.
I'm also curious what...
Wait, no, that's a negative.
The evil... The mad scientist in me is like, what happens if you just take this enzyme and just inject it into somebody's blood?
Well, then there'll be IB.
Why?
Because I'll be damned.
God damn it, Nathan. That's pretty bad.
4.
The militarization of police does not reduce crime.
This is submitted by I'm Not Jesus to Our Science.
So, in terms of the militarization of police, one of the immediate things you can think of is SWAT, but otherwise the other thing that is being considered, especially by United States Attorney General Jeff Sessions right now, he is trying to support a plan in which all of the surplus military gear that exists will be passed on to police forces. So,
it's not a good idea.
We needed to look in to see what would happen if you militarize police. Well,
it's a real bad idea.
There's basically no positives. They've done research on a world scale, and basically what they've found is that it doesn't reduce the amount of crime, it doesn't reduce the amount of injuries to officers, and it drastically reduces the amount of trust that people have in the police.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
So, just bad.
Yeah, don't do it, guys. Do not fall into the trap of militarizing literally everything.
Well, and the other thing is that with that stated, there's actually an immense amount of cost of moving military surplus into civilian care. I mean, I realize police are not necessarily what we would consider civilians, but they are not military.
It counts.
So
what you do is you no longer have those things. You reduce them down to scrap and everything, and then you sell that scrap to construction places so that at a surplus on the guarantee that they use that to build newer homes and everything for homeless people and whatnot.
The problem is right now, at least in America, is that there isn't a shortage of homes. There's a shortage of people that can afford homes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking like real basic shit, like essentially a studio that people can live in almost practically free of charge.
Sure.
3.
Texas man yelling, "Jesus is coming," while stabbing toddler is shot by neighbor trying to stop attack.
This is submitted by Sock Whisperer to Our News.
You know those headlines that you read and you just go, wait, what?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
So this happened...
Why was this man stabbing a toddler?
We don't know.
Is it because Jesus is coming?
Basically. But the only information we have right now is that this was out of Lewisville, Texas. And a Texas man...
How old was the toddler? 1 year old.
He was 1 year old.
And it was his own son.
Because he is dead.
Wow.
The man was shot in the leg and survived the gunshot and has been taken to a hospital and is going to be charged.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real unfortunate. That's fucked up. I wonder what made this man snap.
Jesus was coming, man.
Oh, God. This is one of those extremists, you know?
I have no idea.
You guys got to remember, not all Christians are this way, but there are definitely some extremists, just like there are extremists in all forms of any form of belief.
Right. In any walk of life. But this is, I think this goes beyond just being an extremist, and I think something else set it off, but we don't really have any information right now because the guy's in the hospital, so.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you might not ever get the full story.
We probably won't, especially since a child is involved, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that man, if he's going to prison, is going to be beaten to death.
Probably, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, it's a death sentence.
Google has been accused in a lawsuit of illegally tracking the movements of millions of iPhone and Android phone users, even when they use a privacy setting to prevent it.
This was submitted by 2No to Our World News.
So, if you turn off location history or, follow my location or anything like that, well, what do you think that would mean, Nathan?
That they would stop following your location.
Right. Well, normally that would be what you should believe. Now, the thing is that they have not only still been tracking your location and monitoring your location, they have also been storing data on your movement, where you've been, what you've done, etc. So doesn't look good for Google, although that's
real shitty. Those guys are being dickheads.
Yeah, but Google's so massive, I don't imagine this goes anywhere. Like, they still need to be held to the same standard that everyone else is, but they're to a level now that I don't know how you truly approach them on this.
Yeah, I mean, they can essentially raise an army if they needed.
I mean, it's like complaining about things with Microsoft, and Microsoft goes, well, what else are you going to do?
It's like, well, I mean, you can sue them under the American government, but at that point, you're really only getting money back, and they can just continue to do what they're doing because they're so large that they can just pay you off.
Well, and what will end up happening is, depending on how this suit goes, if it just goes into a regular suit where it's just one party, we'll see what happens. If it evolves into a class action lawsuit, those are terrible for everyone but the lawyers involved. Because normally what will happen is that if you join a class action lawsuit, you'll get a payout of $10 out of the $400 million that they get charged. The lawyers get like a quarter of that to split amongst themselves. You get the $10 to split them, because you was split between, the 100,000 people or whatever. And then Google just goes, oh, only 400 million? Damn.
And then they're going to continue to do what they've always been doing.
Pretty much.
So it's a real sticky situation to be in. So unless, as a punishment, your stocks and everything get dissolved as a company, they're not going to be afraid.
Fines only mean that it's legal for rich people.
Exactly, and they're more rich than most countries.
Yeah.
1.
Trump said on Monday he was worried that any statements under oath he provides to Mueller could be used to bring perjury charges against him as part of the probe into Russia's electoral interference.
This was submitted by Maxwell Hill to Our World News.
What's the matter, Nathan?
I think he's afraid.
What do you think he's afraid of?
Being caught for being stupid.
Well, he didn't necessarily say that he would say something that would cause him to be indicted, okay? Mm-hmm. Instead, what his words were is that he would say things that would not line up with things that people like Comey had said, and then they would use that to try and get him for perjury.
Oh, so taking the other side instead of his.
Right. So not necessarily like, oh, I would say something that would prove that I've done illegal things. No, it would be that you would take what I've said and try and make it sound like I lied.
Okay. I mean, that it's hard to make it sound like you lied when you actually did lie. But I can understand what you're trying to say there. You're wrong. You should still do the statement under oath.
Well, currently the Mueller investigation has led to 16 guilty charges, which leads to a lot of concern for anyone else in that circle.
Fuck, that's a lot of guilty charges. Good goddamn.
Everyone they've tried, they've gotten guilty charges on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Literally amazing.
Someone's doing their job well.
Yeah, I think it's, what was his name? The Mueller?
The Mueller. Mr. Robert Mueller.
Brother.
Special counsel with the FBI.
In this corner, we have the Donald. And in this corner, we have the Mueller.
So speaking of the Donald, did you see the subreddit, the Donald, that appeared that just doesn't have the underline, that is now basically a subreddit dedicated to Donald Glover?
No.
It's amazing.
That's pretty great. I need to subscribe to that.
Make R the Donald great again.
Yeah, no, that's what they're doing, because fuck that guy.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what did you care about in the last 24 hours?
That Stefán Karl Stefánsson has died.
And if you don't know who that is Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town. He has been battling cancer for the last 2 years. His fight has not gone well. There's a moment of hope that we had about a year ago, but that moment quickly passed, and he passed away. So,
At the age of 43.
yeah, so young. It sucks. So that is disappointing.
I think it was colon cancer.
And just as a general announcement, fuck cancer.
Yeah. It's real rough.
Don't worry, Stefan Stefánsson. You will always be number one to all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you are
Also,
number one.
your name is fucking amazing.
Stefán Karl Stefánsson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's very Icelandic.
Yeah.
His wife also has a very Icelandic name.
Does she?
Yeah, it's like, all right, so here it is. I can't pronounce this properly. Steinun Olina Forstensdóttir, I think, or Porstensdóttir. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I don't know.
But
Something
good God.
daughter.
Yeah,
So
That's amazing.
You will be missed, sir.
yeah, absolutely. You'll always be missed.
But you will live on forever as Robbie Rotten.
1.
Nope. There we go. Ice confirmed at the moon's poles.
Ooh, this was submitted by Griffin Chainsaw to our space.
So we already knew that there was ice in the moon. And we already knew that there was traces of ice at the moon's poles. But we sent a probe up to the moon 10 years ago in 2008. And the information that we have now gotten back from that probe is that there is ice on the surface of the moon. And the reason that this is important is because from the data that we have collected, it is not only ice that is on the moon, it is relatively what's the word that I'm looking for? Uncontaminated.
So it's like actual ice that doesn't have any pollutants or poisons in it. Oh, sorry.
You okay there?
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
Right, because a lot of the ice that exists on a lot of the planets that we find, they're either mixed with regolith, which is essentially like space dust, which makes it completely poisonous, and it's very, very difficult to process that out. It's not buried deep below the surface, so you wouldn't necessarily have to mine and mine and mine just to get to it. And water is really important, not just because it's what we drink, but it also is extremely important because it's made of two things, hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen is important because we breathe it, and hydrogen is one of the main ingredients in rocket fuel.
Yo, so wait a second. Hold on. So there's water here, right?
Technically.
So we could theoretically terraform the moon.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about how atmospheres work. The moon might be too small.
That's interesting.
But one thing that could happen is that we can establish essentially like an outpost, a lunar base, or however
A
you
moon,
refer to it.
yeah, moon base.
And it could be stationed at that ice because you can then use...
Have you ever seen the movie Moon?
No, I have not.
Oh God, what is this? It's got Sam Rockwell in it. It's a fucking great movie. If any of you have watched it, you know that it's amazing. But like, if you haven't, you should probably watch it. It's real fucking good.
But the ice can be used to not only provide water to keep us alive, oxygen so we can breathe, hydrogen so that we have fuel. They've wanted to set up a lunar outpost for basically since we started the concept of actual space travel, because the idea of sending a rocket to the moon from, we'll say, Mars and refueling it, because of the moon's lack of an atmosphere, it doesn't require as much fuel to get on and off the moon. So if you are able to refuel on the moon, it is significantly easier.
You just gotta wait for the
resources.
right trajectory.
Sure.
Well, I mean, okay, so you're launching from the moon, right? And you want to get to Mars. You're gonna have to wait for the moon to be in the right spot, so that you don't have to go essentially around Earth.
Sure.
So of course you're gonna want the right trajectory when you launch.
Well, I think we kind of want that same thing for the Earth's position in its
Nonsense, codswallow.
for its orbit, so that we have the least amount of distance to travel.
That's bubkiss.
Yeah, doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. No logic there.
Absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, just makes
Well,
zero
I mean,
sense.
when we're here, we just launch shit into space.
And it works every time, right?
Every single time. We'll launch shit on the other side of the Earth and send it to Mars.
Yeah,
Because fuck you.
that makes perfect sense. I see no flaws in your logic whatsoever.
0 flaws, dude. Why would we wait?
Anything else, Nathan?
No, not really. I'm really dead.
I could tell. But that's also
I
why
barely,
I move
barely
at
punned
a
at all.
decent pace.
I feel super just blah.
Well, drink water. If there's food in your house, eat some food and get some sleep.
Have been eating food.
Good. All
It's
right.
like rice
Then we
and
will-
some like picante salsa.
We will go ahead and work on getting out of here. So, everybody, if you'd like to support this show, to do so monetarily, you can do so by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet or picking up merchandise in the link in the description below. Otherwise, other ways you can help are by following and sharing us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. All of those are at iReaditCast. You can leave us 5-star reviews on our audio-only versions, which are available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else podcasts are found. You can follow me on Schwahn Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein on most social media platforms. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, send it to us on any of those platforms. And it can be a recent news topic, it can be a concept, a theory, it could be a news thing from 10 years ago. If you want us to talk about it, then just send it our way. So, but that's it, everybody. That is your 506th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Two Dick Insider.
And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Goodbye.
Bye.